guys, welcome to Mrs. G's Sewing Space. This is part 2 of my needle felting series, and in the last video I left you with all the supplies, so now we're actually going to get into the needle felting. And as you can see here, I had taken a piece of white craft felt, and that's what I'm going to use as my foundation to needle felt onto. I had a thought in mind, and you'll see it at the end of the video, where my inspiration came from this particular picture that I'm going to felt here. So I had started out by choosing 3 different shades of blue. I had a light blue at the top and a darker blue at the bottom. So this is going to be a landscape, and so those lines at the bottom are going to be the green and the sky is the blue. Now, my original intention for this wasn't a landscape. I actually had mixed up my colors, and I put the light blue on top when it should have been on the bottom. But it ended up being perfect anyways, because as I was working on it, I realized that it was quite very similar to a place I had been in Ireland, which was absolutely beautiful. You know, let me tell you, when you see the movies and you see the backgrounds and just the sea and the pastures and the green and the blue all together, it was just absolutely beautiful. And this ended up looking just like, or well, not just like, but very similar to a place I visited in Ireland, and I have a picture of it, which I'll post at the end once it's all done so you can see what I'm talking about. So once I got the top felted in, and I took my time, I did layers, thin layers of felt, or not felt, of woving. I think that's what those little pieces are called. They're called woving. And I just, kind of like fluffed it out and laid it down and placed it where I wanted it and made sure to take my time. I wasn't in a rush. I was enjoying myself, and I took my time. And I just did layers. I did thin layers. So I didn't take it and clump it up into huge chunks and then lay it on top. I'm just light layers. And it seems to help a lot doing the lighter layers, so that way you can control where your felting is going and how it looks once if it's all in control. So for most of this video, I'll probably chat with you at the end. But through most of this video, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just putting down thin layers of light felting so that, you'll be able to see and follow me of where I wanted it, and so it would look like I wanted it to look. And I made a couple of changes, and I added some things to it. And I go ahead and apologize for the shakiness of the video. It's not actually the video. It's me pounding on my desk because of where my camera is located at. It was just bouncing all over the place. So enjoy the rest of the video. I'm going to throw on some music, and I'll talk to you closer to the end. So I wanted to swap perspectives so you can get a better idea what I was looking at as I was needle felting. You can see that I'm making sure I put the needle up and down, and my fingers are out of the way mostly. And I'm going to pop that picture up that I was telling you about earlier in the video. Pop it up right now. And that's the picture I took in Ireland. Looks just alike. So now I'm going to move on to using those stencils. So the stencils, I find that they were okay. I mean, I can pretty much see how they would have some uses if you got really good at the stencils. I wasn't overly fond of them. So I'm just practicing on the word love right now, because as you could see behind my hands, I had used some of the other stencils and was doing some of the shapes and things. So like some of the bigger shapes and the ones without the teeny weeny little details, I think it was easier to use the stencils. But going in for the letters and the numbers, it's a little more difficult. And as you puncture the felt and move the roving into the spaces and crevices, you still have like little individual strands that would lay over that you have to end up cutting away. And it kind of messes up what you're going for. I mean, you've got to be really, you got to pay attention, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I didn't like how the way the words looked, but the bigger pictures, like the flowers and the Scotty dog and stuff, that was cute. So now we're going to peel it. So don't be surprised when you peel your creations off your pads and you see all that fuzziness, because that felting has to go somewhere. It's not being felted together, it's being punctured through the base. So this black base right here, the threads went through the back. It wasn't getting felted onto itself, it was being pushed through. And so it's really interesting when you peel it away how it looks and how it feels. But it kind of gives a Velcro kind of texture to it, because I was able to put it up on my fabric divider walls I have in my sewing room. So they're currently attached to my walls with no fasteners or anything. I would recommend taking it slow, taking it easy, and if you felt in the same place multiple times, your little foam box is going to start breaking down, and it's going to pull up bits of your foam or styrofoam or whatever it is that you're using. So I just would recommend you to be careful. So here's the back side. It's all fuzzy and funny feeling, and it's really nice and soft to feel it. And then there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on number 3. Needle felting part 3 is next. Ba-da-ba-ba.